What's up, guys? Lonnie Wolf Mex is here. So I'm trying to get to where I can post a video every single day, and I just hadn't been able to do it because I've been working like a madman. That's really been like the downfall of my channel, is focusing so much on work and not focusing on the channel or anything like that. But I want to try and start focusing more, so I'm going to be posting to get back into the swing of things. I want to post videos just talking about whatever I want to talk about. So today I'm going to talk about my truck. So I had an accident in my truck. I ran off the road and I bent the wheel. It's not that bad, not that big of a deal. Bent the wheel, I bent the bumper a little bit. What's taken so long for me to get my truck back is insurance. Insurance is taking a long time to figure out what needs to be done to my truck. Although my truck's in the shop, the guys there, they already know what's wrong with it and they want to work on it. There's a whole bunch of other crap that has to go along with it. But while I've been waiting on my truck, as you see back here, there's a light. Like, you see that? That's a fog light. It's made by Hella or Hela. I don't know how you say it. I have one here. If I can get it, they're kind of heavy. Hela. So look how big this. It's bigger than my head almost. I have a big head. That's what she said. I'm just kidding. All right, whatever. So these are what's going to go on my truck. And if you take it's like a rock chip dust cover protective cap. So that's what the light looks like. These are going on the top of my truck. I'm trying to turn my truck into like a safari truck, something that can go anywhere. It's highly capable of doing anything. That's kind of my goal for my truck. I want to be able to camp in it if I have to. I want to have all the tools in it that I want to. So I'm basically building a safari. I mean, they call it overlanding now, where you camp in your truck and all that. But overlanders are kind of like, that's kind of like a hipster movement. It's people who've bought Tacomas recently and they put a tent on top of the Tacoma and then they call it an overlanding truck. Whereas what I want is a off-road capable truck. I don't want it so off-road capable to the point where it will not function on the street. I want to be able to drive on the street comfortably and then drive off-road if I want to. And also, if I have to, I want to be able to camp in it. So I guess you could call that overlanding if you want to or whatever. But it's been really fun. I've been putting a lot of money into it and a lot of time into it. My brother has as well. He's put a lot of time and money into the truck also. So it's probably going to become, even though it's in my name, I'm going to be parking it. And I've tried to do this in the past, and my family's not that interested in the truck, which I don't blame them, because really all you can use it for is off-roading and working. Like, it's a work truck. So, which y'all have seen pictures of my Tacoma. I'll try and, I guess I'll try and use my editing software and pop up a picture right here. Actually, no, I won't do that. Never mind. Go to my Instagram and you can see my truck. My Instagram is the same name as my YouTube. Luna Wolf MXS, and that's my Instagram. All one word. Luna Wolf MXS, and you can see, you have to scroll down. I've been posting a lot on my Instagram. So go to my Instagram, follow me on there, and you'll see like all the places I've traveled to. I post sometimes twice a day on there, just cool pictures. I don't post anything. I don't post pictures of myself, which is the majority of what people use Instagram for. I post pictures of cool places I've been to and seen. So you'll see places, like I went to the Czech Republic recently. I went to Denmark, Germany, all that. So I post pictures of all the cool things I saw there, like the beautiful mountains and the, I don't know, the street sometimes. But, yeah, go to my Instagram, scroll down, and you'll see some photos of my truck. It's going to be crazy when I get it back out of the shop and get everything done to it, because not only do I have the lights now, the Hella lights that are going to go on top, and they're huge. I even have a, like, here's the case. I even have a, I have a protective cage that goes around the light. So it's like some Jurassic Park type stuff, but also, this just came in. Boom! Look at that thing. If anybody can guess what this is, I'll give them $1 million. I'm just kidding. I don't have $1 million. This is a snorkel. So this is going to sit on, like, say I'm driving right now. Like, I'm in the driver's seat, like right here. Like, this is going to be on the passenger side of my truck on the outside. It's a snorkel. as you can see, like it kind of looks like a diving snorkel. So what this is going to do, it's going to raise, like this goes to your intake. It's going to raise the level that my intake is so that it doesn't suck in water like if I want to drive through a river. Now I know there's more things because I'm not a noob at this, but I also don't want to spend several $1,000s on my truck more than I have to. So I'm not going to be driving through a river anytime soon. But what this is for is just in case, because Alabama right now we're having flash floods, and it happens often here. We have a lot of storms, a lot of flash floods. A lot of flash floods. But a lot of flash floods, and so I want to snorkel so that if I do happen in an emergency situation, I happen to drive through an overflown river, my truck's going to have a better survival rate. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be able to get through that better than if I didn't have this thing. There's other stuff you have to do to your vehicle to make it completely waterproof, like submersible. There's some like engine stuff you have to do, but I don't care about all that. I just wanted to get that. This was $300. It snaps to the side of my truck, and it makes it to where I can drive safely through water, a lot of water if I have to. Like right now, if I drove through water to where it was up to my door sills, there's a high chance that it could suck into my intake, which is in, your intake's what sucks in air to your engine. There's a high chance that it could suck into my intake and kill my motor. And then I would just be sitting in the water like I would just be floating off somewhere. I don't know. But with this thing, it's going to give me a better chance to get across that water without sucking anything into my engine. So I'm trying to make my truck to where it can go anywhere, do anything. I have a winch. I don't know if I have a video I need to post of me messing with my winch. I have I think it's a 13,000 pound winch, which is super overkill for my truck. My truck probably weighs, I don't know, 4,000 pounds, maybe, somewhere in there, 4,000. It's not a big truck, probably less than that. So the 13,000 pound winch is overkill, but it was a good price, so I bought it, and it's a very strong winch. So I'm trying to make my truck not just off-road capable, because Tacomas, when you buy them, they're already off-road capable. They're very reliable. They're dependable. They're great off-road, and there's nobody on the market that can rival them. What's funny is Jeep owners are always like, Jeeps are better than Toyotas. And it's like, yeah, I mean, Jeeps are awesome, but it's a Chrysler, for one. It's a Chrysler product, which I don't even have to say anything there. And also, it's not a truck. I mean, they come out with a Jeep Gladiator, but you're basically buying a Dodge mid-sized truck, and I'm not a fan of Dodge whatsoever. I love the Jeeps. My brother used to have a Jeep, and I drove that Jeep a lot. I drove it to the beach, and they're awesome, but it's still a Chrysler product, and I can't get over that. I've never liked Chrysler products. I've had very bad experiences with them through the 90s to the 2000s beyond. I'm also vaping, so I've been hitting that vape. But yeah, Jeeps and Toyotas have always gone against each other, even though they're not even in the same bracket. Like it's not like a mid-sized truck versus a mid-sized truck. It's a Jeep versus a Toyota Tacoma. That's how good the Toyota Tacoma is. The Jeep has a worldwide name, and the first thing a Jeep owner would say when somebody said, "What is your competition from like any other vehicle?" they would always say a Tacoma. It's a Tacoma. It's just it's an insanely reliable truck, and it's highly capable off-road. So I wanted to take my insanely reliable truck that's highly capable off-road. I wanted to make it a little bit more capable off-road, and also I wanted to make it to where any scenario that's thrown at you, you could get out of that scenario safely. So I got the snorkel. You can drive through a river. I'm going to have the winch, so if you run off in a ditch, you can use the winch to pull yourself out the ditch. I'm going to be putting chainsaws and stuff, tools in the back that you could use in case a tree falls down in front of the road. During a storm, you can chop it out of your way and keep going. I want the truck to be insanely capable through extreme scenarios, which Toyotas are used. They use Toyotas on Arctic expeditions all the time. They use Toyotas all over the world. Toyotas are all in Africa. They're in war zones. When I was in Afghanistan, the Special Forces guys, drove Toyota Highlanders. Or not, my bad, not Highlanders. They drove Toyota Land Cruisers. Even old Toyota Land Cruisers. They had the 80 block style body Toyota Land Cruisers that were bulletproof, driving those because it's the most reliable off-road vehicle you can buy on the planet. I might be a little biased in saying that, but seriously, I asked, because I got a ride in one of the Land Cruisers. I was walking down the road and a guy picked me up in Afghanistan and was like, hey man, where you going? I'll drive you there. And I was like, man, this is a Toyota Land Cruiser. And he's like, yeah, they're pretty awesome. And I was like, wow, I've never been in one. I have never been in a Toyota Land Cruiser, and the first one I get into is a completely bulletproof Toyota Land Cruiser. And he's like, well, I mean, they're insanely reliable, basically. Everything on this truck, like, they're cheap parts. They're cheap to work on. They're easy to work on, and they're reliable. And he's like, that's why we drive them. We can trust them. Because your other options is driving like an MRAP or a MAT V or whatever that's international, and there's no telling where their motor parts come from. They could come from Ford and Chrysler and all over the world, and you have no idea. Whereas a Toyota Land Cruiser is a Toyota Land Cruiser, you know? So I just thought that was funny. The guys who are always in the heat of battle in Afghanistan are driving Toyota Land Cruisers. So I love Toyotas. I like everything. Even my truck. When I wrecked my truck, when I ran off the road and wrecked my truck, if I had been in anything else, because I was able to drive back to my house. So I turned around, I drove back to my house, which I was only like 5 minutes away. I drove back to my house, parked it in the driveway, and got it taken to the shop the next morning. And they were like, you know, I'd put that ARB bumper on it, which is an Australian bumper company. I put that bumper on it, and they were like, "Man, if you wouldn't have had this bumper on there, it'd have smashed the front of the truck." And then plus, like, it being a Toyota, you can drive those things on fire. Like, to prove my point, go watch Top Gear, the Toyota Hilux episode, which the Hilux is the European form of the Tacoma. Over here, it's called the Tacoma. Over in Europe, it's called the Hilux, and it's a lot better over the Hilux because you can get a turbo diesel Toyota Tacoma basically, and they're indestructible. And you can put them through anything, and they will still drive and function. It's insane. But so I'm putting a lot of money in my truck right now. Not a lot of money. I probably have like let me see. The bumper was $1,000. I probably have about, I don't know, 2,000. Yeah, 2,000 into my truck right now, and it's a very capable vehicle, off-road in extreme situations. But anyways, whatever. Appreciate y'all watching. Check me out SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter. Like always, check me out on the streets.